Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Ray from Guys About Sports. Thank you for joining for us another week, looking at the best sports that are going on in the country. We got Ohio State beating Texas this week. We're going to talk about that, as well as Notre Dame beats Penn State. Got some NFL football for you, as well as a little bit of, we're going to talk about the national championship game as well. That's coming up next Monday, so we'll talk about that. Also, everyone's looking at me funny, like I got rid of something on the intro, all the people that are at this table with me right now. So Cheeks over there was giving me some crazy eyes. So I apologize for throwing that at y'all. But anyway, thanks for joining the Guys at the Bar talking sports. If you like the show, if you like what you hear, please subscribe to the show. And you could also follow us through Facebook. We are on Facebook. Just type it in on the search bar on Facebook. You will find Guys at the Bar talking sports there. We got a group. We got a page. We're on Instagram, not MySpace. And also, if you like what you hear and you want to support the show, you can do that through Venmo at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Type that in. Send us a little bit of beer money. You can also use that money for other things as well, like food, charcuterie. I do have some charcuterie over there for y'all tonight, as well as some extra equipment and so forth. So thank y'all for listening. Like I said, let's go ahead and do some intros over here. How's it going over there, Chopper?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you got the best radio voice in the world. I was listening back to the show last week. I was like, man,
good,
yeah, you might get taken from the show and brought on to like Q96.7 or something, you know?
I don't tell you the other. I don't tell you the
Chopper in the evening time, baby.
And you say that, but
yeah.
25 years ago, I used to drive back and forth from Columbia to Auburn every single weekend, and I listened to Delilah.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end that conversation right now, okay? We're going to go ahead and stop that one right now. We don't want everyone to know. We don't want people to get to know you too well tonight. Let's just say that. Yeah, exactly. I think I caught him off guard with that question. So, hey, we also have the Rebel. How's it going, man? Nice to see you, sir.
Another day in paradise. Man.
Another day in paradise. We also have over there Cheeks. How you doing, Cheeks?
I'm doing great. How about you all?
Very well. We're going to get to those Eagles for you tonight. Don't worry.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, and then we have the mountain man himself wearing that West Virginia hoodie. How's it going?
Good, brother. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you, man. Thank you all for coming out, listening to the show. We're going to jump right into this thing real fast. We had the Final Four last week, man. And I'll be honest with you, we've had, what was it? Was it 11 games so far with this whole 12-team playoff? And those two games are really good. That's my opinion on that.
I enjoyed that.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah.
It was worth it.
Only two good games, close games.
Should we have just gotten rid of all the other games and just had a Final Four then?
Yeah.
No. Did you watch the
like
NFL
football.
playoffs? I mean, the NFL playoffs had some blowouts this week, so it happens.
But those were two great games.
Oh, yeah. So Ohio State beat Texas 28-14. That was the one that wasn't as close, right? So watching that game, it seemed OSU had all the control in the first quarter. Texas, figured things out on defense a little bit, second and third quarter. But, I mean, it just went Ohio State's way the entire time.
The coach lost that game for Texas, or at least took them out of position to have an opportunity to win it or at least keep it close. That was some of the dumbest play calling I've ever seen in my life in the red zone. It was ridiculous. I mean, I'm an old school guy anyway. There's nothing worse to me than, needing a yard, 3 feet, and you take a snap 5-6 yards deep. I've got a pet peeve with that. That's a story for another day. But when you're supposed to be one of the most dominating teams in the country, you need 3 feet. You're telling me in 4 plays you can't get 3 feet and you didn't want to sweep it outside against probably one of the fastest defenses in the country. That's just stupid. I mean, that I don't know if Sarkisian called that or his OC called that or who called that, but he needs to be fired that one play. That is, I mean, I don't care. Your body of work went to shit with that one play call. It was, I mean, I'm sitting there looking at TV going, I'm like, please tell me you was audibled out to that crap or something because that is awful. I mean.
That was a play that was called at the booth, man.
Look, man, the Eagles do it with perfection. Shove him straight in the ass 4 times. I guarantee you he gets in. Change the snap count to get him off a little bit. Push him in the ass 3 feet in the conversation. Now, they may still lost the game. But that play, you had mentioned on our page, that play ended that game right there.
Yeah, so I actually posted that one onto Facebook and Instagram and all that. Dude, that thing has 500,000 views on Instagram or something, man, because I know it was on Reels, and it's just truly, it's a crappy play. Why are you, like you said, you have 4 chances to go 3 feet, and you have a solid offensive line that's able to move the ball slightly every time they're getting at least a yard. Why can't they? I mean, is Ohio State that good at stopping that 1 yard stand?
I saw the press conference that Sarkisian gave, and he called it. He called that sweep. I saw Jim Knowles, who's the defensive coordinator for Ohio State's press conference today, And he said that because they have such great athletes, and he praised Caleb Downs, his own defensive player, that he left the bigs in there on third down and never thought they would call a sweep like that. Generally, that sweep may have worked because they had the bigs in there, but it should have never – I'm not giving Sarkisian a pass. It should have never come to that. That ball should have ran right straight into the end zone the first 2 downs.
Let me explain something. Every college team, every NFL team, every high school team, every Pop Warner team, they need to find a somewhat athletic fat guy to learn to take a snap. So when it's first and goal on the 1, you let the 250, 260-pound tight end take the snap and run behind all that meat in front of him. I mean if you're scared, your 6'5" quarterback can't lay,
Well, put Arch Manning in. He's supposed to be a running guy.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that too.
Wasn't he in?
No. He came in one play of the entire game,
And he got it.
That was
and he got the yards that they needed.
Forward.
Yeah.
He tripped forward and got it.
I'm just, again, I love the spread offense. Don't tell me I love it. I love how it's opened the game up. It's actually created scoring. It's never been there before. But again, I don't care what level this. I want to take snaps 5 yard deep to get 3. You're giving up 5 times what you actually need every time you take that snap. And it pisses me. I mean, unless you're going to get a running start and try to go over the top, which even now defense have gotten good enough. They got the one guy that's going to knock your head off when you leave your feet.
Yes.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. And it pisses me off every time they do it.
What was it? Auburn last year was bringing in that 350-pound running back or something like, not a running back, but they had a 350-pound defensive lineman.
But still,
that would go in,
they were still handing it off.
Yeah, he would get those yards every time. And then Florida did it with their 420 or 460-pound defensive lineman and got like 5 yards out of it.
Again, they still handing it off 5 yards deep. Some offensive guard loses his assignment and they wrap him up in the backfield. Put him under center. Teach him how to take a snap.
Yes.
And you just push.
It's just an example of
Play rugby.
they don't. I mean,
It's boring, yes. But it works.
I don't think
It gets 6 points, and
I
that's
love
all you
it.
need.
these
Right,
these offenses are lazy.
Or first down.
These college offenses are lazy. They're very lazy. There's not a whole lot of language. I mean, you see these guys have a hard transition to the NFL. Some of them, but they're never under center. They're always in shotgun. It's always look to the sideline, clap your hands once, look over to the sideline, make sure the coaches are still good with it. I don't know, man. I think I don't know if we texted back and forth, whatever. I was like, how can you not run? Do the push whatever 4 times? It's going to get in the end zone. They were at the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
and they threw a pass play on one. I mean, it was actually they went for 2 pass plays because the 4th down was the fumble, right? So
If I'm an offensive lineman, that says you don't trust me.
Yep.
That's what it says. It says you have no confidence in my ability to move 3 feet. Or not even move 3 feet. Move a half of it and let the guy behind you get the other foot and a half.
Yep.
They would have got, if they would have just ran it down the middle 3 times,
it.
they would have got into the end zone, and they pull some stupid out. I mean, it was just a dumbass play.
And if they didn't, well, okay, you lost going out trying your damn best, not trying to be cute. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and maybe that's what it was about.
I mean, Sarkisian's he's a flashy
Saying,
ego.
Hey, we can run it around the edge on you. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's a rare thing that you don't get into the end zone from the 1 yard line
Right.
with first and goal. It's a rare thing for that to happen. Something crazy, like
fumble.
a fumble.
It's usually a fumble.
Or
Or you throw a pick because you tried to not to do something stupid and not just push it in.
Like you don't give it to Marshawn Lynch and try to throw a pass.
Oh, good Lord. At least they were on like the 3.
It doesn't matter.
The other thing, what about that DB slipping and Ohio State scoring that touchdown there at the end?
Well, it was already out of hand at that point.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were tying it up right then, right?
Yeah, that was the one that made it
Yeah.
14-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Or 20. It broke it. I can't remember. Yeah,
I thought it broke it
Let's
up
go back to
14
that
points.
play.
It was still a game.
That was, had that not happened, which was just a freak thing, things could have been different as well too.
Well, how about the longest fumble recorded in college football history?
Tell me more.
That was yours old
Okay.
roommate.
Oh, yeah. The stupid score. Yeah.
He stripped the ball, ran it back 83
He
yards.
was walking by the time he got to the 40-yard
Well,
line.
he's a
Yeah,
little
but he had a
boy.
lot of people. He had a lot of people that were covering him and stuff down the
Yeah.
field because they were excited. I mean, they were like, "Holy crap, we got to get!"
But I
this
mean,
thing in the
somebody
end
from
zone."
Texas, you got to run down there and make a tackle and keep the game alive.
No, they quit.
They quit.
They quit.
Yeah,
They
did.
quit. He wasn't even hardly jogging.
Just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Ridiculous play calling overall. The game was good. I mean, up to that point, the game was good. I mean, you had a chance for it to be tied 21-21.
I never felt. You're right. It was a better game than what it was close to what Ohio State's had the last few weeks. But I never once felt like they were in trouble losing that game. I just.
No,
No,
they
we
controlled the game.
I'm gonna say Hanger and I watched it at the same party, and we were both watching the first half, going, "Why is there not a higher score for Ohio State?"
Yeah, I mean, it was.
It It really felt unbalanced.
Will Howard.
Somebody
came
said
back
this
in there.
last week,
Ohio State is going to beat the shit out of them.
right? So something to that effect. I don't know if it was.
That was 2 weeks ago.
That was Oregon.
All right, so I'm just reusing this whole thing right here because that's
Ohio State is going to beat the shit out
that's
of them.
my favorite clip ever made from this show. So Ohio State did not beat the shit out of them.
I
but
did
you
not
didn't
say that.
You didn't say they were going to. Okay, but
Every time you play that, Ripper feels something in his loins.
he does. Yeah, I know. He called me about it. He was like, "Ooh, yeah, I like that."
Exactly,
He actually
see?
calls me to play it for him every so often. He's like, "Can you just play that one more time for me?" Because he likes to hear it. He's like,
Ohio State is
For
going to
me
beat the
one
shit out of them.
more
Hold on. Oh, you were
time.
talking about the clip, right?
the clip.
Okay.
Yeah, baby. So needless to say, I mean, Ohio State won that game. They're going to the national championship. First time since 2014 that they is this the first time since 2014 they were in the national championship, right? Or is it yeah, that's the
No, they lost to Alabama in a national championship since then.
Since then,
I think
okay.
it was the COVID year. I think the COVID season is when they lost the national.
okay, I'd have to look that up and see.
I remember they beat. I want to say they beat Clemson.
Michigan beat them 2020, 2021, 22.
Yeah.
No, that's right. That was the last time they beat
COVID
Michigan.
year when everybody was like 4-0 and 5-0. They played Alabama for the national championship.
Okay. Yeah. So Notre Dame beats Penn State 27-24. This was the game that was the best game of the week, right? So, I mean, it had you on the edge of your seat. Penn State sort of controlled things in the game defensively. They had two interceptions in the very beginning of the game, first half. They went into halftime 10-3. Notre Dame figured things out in the third quarter. Fourth quarter was really good. I think one team scored 17 points, one team scored 14 points. So that was a great end to that game. But I don't think Penn State fans could be pissed about their performance this year. What do y'all think?
No, I thought they had a good year, but I was tired of hearing Greathouse's name being mentioned over and over and over. Jaden Greathouse.
He played well.
He played phenomenal.
Guys,
yeah.
He woke up that morning and said, I feel like I'm going to break 100. That was the first time that season he had broken 100 yards, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good game. Penn State played pretty well. It just came down to the end, man.
Yeah.
Notre Dame just outscored them. I mean,
look, that game showed me how fortunate Penn State is to be where they are. They shouldn't even be in this conversation.
you don't think they should have been where they were at?
They have been so. They didn't complete a pass to a wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah,
They were still in the game, though.
But
without
that's
that.
what I'm saying is, where's your recruiting? Where's your guys to find? Hey, give me one receiver
They're
that I
running
can
the ball
trust.
well.
It doesn't matter because you know what? If you run the ball that well, you pack the box. You can't throw it to a receiver.
But then you get blown out. But they
Who
stayed
gets
in the
blown
game.
out?
They stayed in the game.
But you're proving my point. Is you were this competitive, but you can't recruit one receiver that you trust to throw the ball to. I mean, or
Well, I'm sure they have them. They just didn't.
no, they didn't use them all year. That's my point.
Yeah,
that's my point. If that cat has two receivers he can trust, they probably run roughshod over everybody. I mean,
I don't.
Yeah.
I think some of it's. I think some of it's quarterback. I have said all year I'm not a big Drew Aller guy. I don't think he's.
No, he's above average. He's above average.
He's a big kid.
But my point being is, again, find him a slot that he can throw it 5 yards.
Right. Well,
something.
They leaned on that tight end, quite number 44, a big white kid. But I mean, I think they took him out of the game. I mean,
100%. All they did was they had him chucked at the line. They would shimmy at the line and then have a very athletic linebacker safety covering.
Yeah.
And they took him somewhat out of the game. So now you're left to run the ball. You get behind. You can't play that game running the ball because it eats too much clock. Again, it's just
That's a pretty amazing stat, though, right?
it's odd.
Yeah,
in college.
it's very odd. It is
in
very
big boy
odd.
college football.
But when I went back, I think I went back and looked. I might be misquoting this. I don't think it's the first time that's happened this year.
It happened 3 times.
Yeah, that they didn't throw a ball to a receiver. I mean, hell, line up in the wishbone then. I mean, go back old school Nebraska and run the ball.
They're one of 3 teams that's done that: Air Force, Navy, and Penn State.
But when you're watching the game, did you even notice that happened, or did you see the stat?
I noticed that quarterback wasn't throwing the ball worth a damn. Yeah. I noticed that. I mean, if he's not throwing the ball down the field, you're right. It looks sloppy.
It wasn't as obvious till you see the stat. And you're like, oh wow.
Me, him, and I watched it together. And I think they brought it up in the third quarter, and I think I was like, oh shit, he hasn't thrown. He hasn't completely.
Yeah, but the thing is when you went into this game, you did not expect Penn State to be, throwing deep every play. You expected them to be running the ball, and they did. They ran it effectively. I think they had over 200 yards rushing. Yeah. The passing sucked. Yeah, they had like 110 yards passing. That was it. That wasn't that good. But
Well, his pass was complete one time.
It's to the wrong person.
Oh, what?
Well, he actually had 3 interceptions.
To Gray?
2 of them got called back because of interference.
yeah, they got really lucky on 2 of those for
Yeah,
sure.
and at the end of the game was the worst one when he tried to throw it into the ground and it got caught.
I mean, I feel bad for the kid. I hate to pile on him because he wanted to win the game. You don't hate to play that bad, but I mean, he just didn't play.
The thing to take back from that game is I don't mind being aggressive, but based where the flow of that game was, Notre Dame at the end of that game had all the momentum. Take the knee and put it in overtime. Just take the knee. Don't try to get too aggressive with it. Take the knee and then take your chances from the 2-yard line, 10-yard line, 25, where they're going to line it up at, right? That's the one. I mean, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback right now. It is. But I remember watching this going, take your knee and get out of here. And let's regroup, talk about it.
It looked obvious.
And then they lined up, and I was like, oh, okay, if this works, you're going to look like a hero if you do something stupid. And I said that on my blast. If he does something stupid, he's a goat in the very next play through the interception. And I went, James Franklin shows his face.
But, I mean, that's Penn State's lost how many games this year? 3?
I think that's right.
3. They've lost 3.
Yeah, that's their third.
They've lost 3 games to 3 teams that were good. They're 0-3 against anybody any good this year. That's just a fact. Ohio State, Oregon, and Notre Dame's a good team, and they have not beaten anybody of quality this year. Maybe Illinois. You can give them Illinois if you want, but they have beaten nobody of quality.
Didn't they play West Virginia?
Like I said, they beat nobody of quality this year.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Indiana. That wasn't a...
No, they didn't. Penn State didn't play Indiana.
Oh, they did not play Indiana. That's right. So, I mean, Penn State... I don't think the fan base could be pissed. They did not expect to be in the. They did not expect to be in the Final Four of the playoffs this year.
No, okay. So if I was a Penn State fan, I'd be like, hell yeah, man, we got to the Final Four. But in the back of my mind,
what are we doing next year?
In the back of my mind, I'm like, but we did play SMU and Boise State to get there, and we lost Notre Dame. I would have reservations. I'd be like, what if we'd have played Texas or Tennessee? What if we'd have played one of those teams early on?
I would like to say that at the beginning of the season, there was 3 people that had Penn State in their Final Four when we talked about it before the season started. 3 people had Penn State in their Final Four. So a lot of us had expectations that were high for Penn
You must be one of them.
I was not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, I had 3 of the 4 right. And so did 2 other people had 3 of the 4 right. So
do spill.
That's for next week.
Oh.
So if you're listening to the show, tune in next week. You'll hear our picks. I got a surprise for y'all. I'm going to rub it in y'all's face. And I'm going to rub it in someone's face that got them all wrong. Every single one of them wrong. So
oh crap, that's probably
that might be SEC.
That's old boy over there.
He did call every SEC team.
I think he had Auburn, Mississippi State,
USC.
Yeah, and those 4 teams could be anybody.
Oh no, he had Auburn. He had Auburn's JVB squad. He had Auburn's cheerleading squad, and then their club team. That's who I was going to play for.
Yeah. So Notre Dame. I mean, they Riley Leonard.
You non-SEC.
Our SEC homer over here. I mean, I guess we're all a little bit SEC homers, except for Mountain Man, but Mountain Mama, yeah.
I like the SEC. I just like giving their fans a hard time when get hit in the face with their own.
Yeah,
just jealous.
So it looked like Notre Dame was. It looked like Notre Dame was not going to win this game in the first half. It looked like Penn State was all over them. They had 2 interceptions. They were playing relatively well. Nobody had noticed by then that there was no receivers that passed the ball. And then third quarter, Notre Dame was able to come and tie it up, and then fourth quarter just went out of control. I mean, it was really good to watch. I had fun. I mean, the entire playoff so far. I mean, besides the fact there was blowouts, you cannot complain about a bunch of extra games, and we're still talking about college football right now, a week after we're supposed to be talking about it.
I will say this, and we kind of talked about this before. I go down and change the topic for a second.
Yep.
The national championship game's not until what, next Monday?
Next Monday, yeah.
That is entirely too long. Entirely too long. Back it up to the first week after the season's over. Then you can start a Army-Navy weekend if you want, and you roll right into it the next game. They're trying to make this like the NFL, and what you're going to see is Monday. Is the first quarter Monday. It's going to look like shit. That's what's going to happen because you're going to have teams that have basically sat there for 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, people are getting playoff fatigue because we're going to know who's in the NFC and AFC championship game before the college national championships played.
Yeah, I agree. In hindsight, so at the beginning of the season, I thought, wow, this is going to be great. We're going to talk about college football until the 20th of January. And now I'm thinking it should be over with right now.
Yeah.
Because they should just back it up a week, go to that game, the weekend of the Army-Navy game, have the Army-Navy game played, at 3 o'clock, and then have a bunch of playoff
night games. And then be playing the national championship game. I know why they moved it to Monday. They didn't want to compete with the NFL.
Yeah,
but guess what?
Put it on Friday.
But here's the same thing. But here's the thing.
Friday, yeah.
But here's the thing. I would speculate the college national championship game can compete with an NFL playoff game. Maybe no other games could, but I bet that one can.
Well, that one will because of the fact that you got to think the 2 fan bases are going to have a lot to do with that. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think
or you get with the NFL and say, hey, play an early game, give us that middle of the day slot, and you play the late game, and then everybody's happy.
NFL is not going to work with the college.
They've already stole Christmas from the NBA. They are not giving up anything. I do think it was a good idea to lead into the NFL playoffs with the college football playoffs for Thursday, Friday. I think that was smart.
Yeah, that was very smart.
I think the college national championship should be the Friday before the divisional round. Or
I think it'd be great.
Or
what a
Friday.
fun weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to have playoff games for 5 days. I mean,
even if they did last Thursday, Friday they had those games, and then this Friday night have a prime time championship game instead of on a Monday.
On a Friday
and
night.
all of us have Saturday offs, and most people do anyway. So I mean, it'd be a great night out.
I can play. I can play.
Your appetite.
Well, I can play along with that too because I guarantee you, ask the players and the coaches, they'd rather go and play on 6 days than play than 10.
Absolutely,
100% they would.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Especially with Ohio State right now. Ohio State right now is their biggest fear is the fact they don't pull the South Carolina who sat too long and looked terrible when they came back out when they were in the hottest part of their season.
Notre Dame too. Both of these two teams are super hot going in. I mean, they're the hottest two teams left. I mean,
Yep. Well, obviously.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, Penn State could
Thank you,
easily won that
Captain
game. We
Obvious.
wouldn't have said, Penn State could have easily won that game. We wouldn't have said that.
So talking about the national championship game, so Ohio State coming into this game, they've been on fire the last 3 games. I mean, they've been ripping people an asshole and a new asshole, and people that don't have an asshole, they're ripping assholes for them too. You know,
Poor souls.
You just found a way to say asshole 4 times.
I know that was great, right? It's my goal in life. So they're looking good. I mean, they're looking solid. Does that 10 days off, does that make them, lose a little bit of that appetite, a little bit of that fire? Are they going to go in there aggressive going in against Notre Dame in Atlanta next week, man?
I honestly don't know what to expect out of this. I mean, the line opened at 9.5 points, Ohio State. I think that's reasonable based off the teams you're seeing now.
Is it still the same?
I think it actually gone to 10.
Has it gone? Wow.
I think it went up. So, which means everybody's putting their money on Ohio State to cover that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 10 days is going to look like. If you've got some injuries, it may look great, but I don't know that either one of those teams is overly beat up to where it's really going to matter all that much. I think the first quarter of this game is going to be sloppy on both sides until they settle in. And my thing is this: there's a lot of people out there. Oh, this is going to be This is going to be a TCU Georgia type situation. And I'm like, it's not going to be for one reason, in my opinion.
Why?
Notre Dame's coach is that good a coach.
Well,
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's good.
He's better than Ryan Day, and he's not going to allow that. I think he's going to be better prepared.
You can't
for this
say
game.
he's better than Ryan Day based upon the fact that Ryan Day's been consistent as a coach for the last 7 years now. I mean, he's been consistent. Yeah, he's consistently loses to Michigan over the last 4 years.
He wins the personality battle.
Personality of a
Really?
tree.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman definitely has a better
Oh,
one.
clearly, yeah.
Absolutely,
But
but as far as coaching,
I just feel like Marcus Freeman's getting more out of less.
But let's go back to you saying about the injuries. Notre Dame's got a lot of season-ending injuries on their
Well, that's
squad.
season ending. That 10 days, 6 days ain't going to change any of that. They're not going to be allowed to get allowed.
But they have all these great guys that aren't playing right now. So
No, my point was
they're walking around lame and they're still winning.
Well, no, my point was they're not going to want 10 days to allow recovery.
Correct.
Because they don't have anybody that's still able to play that's that banged up.
Yeah.
The guys that are out for season still going to be out for season.
I mean, it's a 10-point. Ohio State's favored by 10 points right now. Notre Dame, I don't know. That's a fair number. I think Notre Dame can keep up with Ohio State. You don't think so? Hold on. You think this is going to happen right here, right?
Ohio State is going to beat the shit out of them.
Do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's Ohio State by 100 or what?
No, I think it's going to look a lot like the Ohio State and Texas game.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it'll be a 28-14. It'll be a big score at the end. I mean, and I agree with Rebel. Freeman has gotten more out of his team, and Day has gotten less with more. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Day can line up and beat Michigan State and Iowa and Minnesota all day long, but he has trouble lining up against quality teams. He did not
Until his playoff.
Until the playoff.
Now, I'm still going to give Michigan their flowers on this. That kid that stuck that flag, as dumb as that was, in the middle of that field, I'm telling you, that guy lit a fire.
I'm going to tell you this.
He lit a fire, and who was the guy that went and got the flag? Jack Sawyer, who's dominating right now.
Let me tell
Jack
you,
Sawyer.
if that's what it took to get them to play to their potential, they are some weak-minded people.
They obviously are. That's why they've had trouble all year. That's why they look like shit against Nebraska, and they lost to Michigan, and they had trouble.
They've had their heads banged around.
The problem with the Michigan game is I think they tried to pretend like they were tough, and they weren't, and they were out toughed, and it got away from them. Right. They're a finesse team. Be finesse. Who cares if you're cute? Just do it. It works. So I mean, I think it's going to be a game where Notre Dame's going to hang around, but I think in the end it's going to be about a finesse.
Well, what if they stopped Jeremiah Smith?
They don't need to worry about Jeremiah Smith. He didn't factor at all.
Not last week.
No,
but this is a different team, different game.
Well,
Notre Dame was able to stop. I mean, not that Penn State.
They didn't stop the run at all.
Yeah, they didn't stop the run at all.
Right.
And so
And Trayvon Henderson is a good. The man's taken back-to-back weeks. He's taken 60-plus yard, one-touch touchdowns to the house. So,
my opinion, this is kind of an old adage, but I think more so in this game than anything, watching Notre Dame and when they actually was able to start moving the ball, this game is going to be won and lost by Notre Dame's offensive line and Ohio State's defensive line. If you give Riley Leonard time to stand back there, he will pick you apart. He did it at Duke. I mean, he beat Clemson. I mean, he can manage an offense, but if he's running, he makes some bad decisions at times. Northern Illinois is a good example of this. If they let him stand back there like a statue, but the thing is this. Penn State got after him pretty good. It took him a minute to settle down. I think Ohio State will get after him even more than Penn State did, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
So it's just going to be a matter, can they, again, adjust to give him that extra second of time to where he can throw the ball around a little bit.
He's the X factor in this whole game. Riley Leonard is.
Well, he is. He is, but it's the X factor is going to be his line, because if that line is non-existent, it's this game. Their line could actually look like Minnesota's did Monday night, quite possibly last night. Okay. Or was that last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it looks
9 sacks.
if that looks like that, because I mean, go back and look. Penn State sacked him a few times. I mean, they got after him pretty good, and he scrambled around and made plays.
They did. He threw 2 interceptions. I mean, that was he had a loss in confidence going into halftime.
Yeah. So to me, that's in the trenches is where this game's actually really where it's going to be, because again, Ohio State's quarterback I think is average at best. He's got way better playmakers than Notre Dame does, but having a better quarterback, if he's given time, he can do something.
Ohio State's quarterback is average at best.
I think he's average at best.
Are you kidding me?
No.
He has like 4,500 yards passing this season.
Guys, 4,000 yards in college throwing the ball now is not like killing
It also
shit
depends
anymore.
on what your schedule looks like too.
Yeah, he did play Marshall. He did play Akron. He did play Minnesota. He did play Michigan State. They played a lot of teams that didn't. I mean, that weren't no good.
Okay, let me back up. In today's world, stats are easy to come by because the type of the offense they play. You can put up some really big stats. What I'm looking at saying where he's an average quarterback is when he is under duress, what does he do? And he makes a lot of mistakes when he's under duress. If they get after him, he will throw it away. He'll throw picks. He'll fumble. He's shown he's very capable of doing that.
Yeah, Texas brought him back to earth a little bit.
Exactly. So that's what I mean by that. I mean, statistically, his stats may be
He's a Mike Leach
statistics
guy.
may be great, but
I want that soundbite.
He's a Mike Leach guy, right?
Who?
Will Howard?
No, he was a Kansas State guy.
Yeah, he played for Kansas State.
State.
Yeah, he trusted me.
Last season. And K-State was pretty good last season, and then he came over there.
Yeah, they ran him out of town for Avery Johnson. They got the same kind of production. It's crazy.
that always makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But getting back to the 10-day off thing, I think that hurts Ohio State more than it hurts Notre Dame.
Yeah, because they're the ones that had the most fire.
That's right.
I mean, Notre Dame's playing with house money, right? I mean,
100%.
I mean, and
I'm pretty confident nobody at this table picked Notre Dame.
No.
When you're playing with house money and you're calm, cool, collected like Marcus Freeman is,
Yeah.
God, and you've got like this Riley Leonard type quarterback, man, they can be pretty powerful.
Don't they get like $32 million for winning this game or something?
Yeah, they ain't got to share it with nobody.
And they don't have to share it with anybody.
It's right in the part of conference. That's
right.
Like
I'm
$1 million.
telling you, they're smart. I don't care what anybody says.
They've already announced they want to stay the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
nowhere.
Yeah.
At what point does UConn become like a dominant player in college football? Because they just like, we're going to take out a loan
had a
and
decent
pay guys
season.
$20 million. They're going to get a $20 million budget for our NIL. And next thing you know, it's UConn and Notre Dame in the playoffs.
Are they going to change their name to UConn Catholic?
Yeah.
Or UConn Mormon Academy? Or,
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, but UConn they're independent, so they can do what they
I
want.
know, but they don't. I mean, Notre Dame. It's like I think, and I don't know if anybody here is Catholic, but I think you have to root for Notre Dame if you're Catholic. I think it's like a requirement. I mean, I'm Protestant. I don't pull for liberty.
We'll have to ask Gary Matthews on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, are you a Notre Dame fan, Gary?
I bet he is. Oh, he's from Ohio too, isn't he?
No, he's a Gamecock.
Oh, okay. Maybe Monday night he's an Irish.
He will be.
So what is the chance? What does Notre Dame have to do to win this game then? What do you think?
Play fundamental football. Don't turn it over, and try to grind it out. Long drives. Don't turn it over, and keep their offense off the field.
And don't give up the big play.
Correct.
Do not give up the big play.
And to that point, like I said, if you can sustain long drives, you limit that opportunity. So I mean, again, that's how they do it. Is they just play good, efficient, fundamental football and just grind them.
I mean, if you look at what people are saying about this game, I posted something that was like, what's the score going to be? Everyone's like 47-10 Ohio State. I mean, people have way sky high feelings about what this game's going to do for Ohio State, but I just don't know.
Think the
I think it's going to be
confidence is
closer.
still there with Notre Dame finishing.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
historically
yeah,
speaking,
that's right.
They get in the games with teams like this, and
they've been blown
out.
The previous
And I was
playoffs.
like,
Well, like I mentioned,
is this a different Notre Dame?
I mentioned that last week. This looks like more like the old school Notre Dames we grew up with. I'll tell you.
Old school Notre Dame to me is
I know Joe
Theismann
Montana.
and Montana.
Well, I don't care. Hey,
We're talking Tony Rice and Rick Meyer over here.
Well, let me tell you what.
I'm a little older.
They look more like that than they did when Numbnuts was up there coaching. Okay, so I mean, that's true. I mean, they're more efficient. They protect the ball better and they make better decisions. But I'll tell you this, and I'll say this right now: if this thing gets into the fourth quarter as a one score, I think Notre Dame will win the game.
Wow.
If they get now, so Ohio State, what they've managed to do pretty much this whole time is get on people early and make them play from behind. If Notre Dame can get into the fourth quarter down only one score, I said it right here. They win the game.
Riley Leonard.
Were they trailing at halftime to Penn State? They were, right? Or they were.
They were. It was 10-3.
But they've come out of the second half and just come out like they had a kickoff return against Georgia, right off the bat in the second half.
Yeah,
and then they came right off the bat and scored a touchdown. I mean, so they're quick starters in the second half too.
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah,
I think
A few Hail Marys.
I think if any of y'all,
Appropriate.
if any of you guys said, "Will Georgia be?" Or if it was Georgia and Ohio State in the national championship, I bet if we went around this table, everyone would say Georgia would win except for you, right?
No, I'd say Ohio
You would
State.
say you would have said that.
I mean,
I picked them for this.
Who's quarterbacking?
No, I'm just So I'm
With
saying,
Gunnar Stockton, Ohio State.
but we know.
I mean, Beck. I wouldn't trust Beck either.
No, but better shot than with Gunnar Stockton.
But Notre Dame is the team that beat Georgia. That's what I'm getting at. This is a relatively good team. I mean, you cannot deny it.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. They're a long ways from
It's going to be a great
Illinois.
game. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
we
I don't
should
think
be
they
here
cover.
on Monday night watching it.
Pardon me?
We should be here Monday night watching it and doing live feedback.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe we will. Keep an eye out for a post for a live show with guys about Sports.
Now, all these props I'm giving Marcus Freeman and all the great things I'm having to say about him. If he takes that Chicago Bears job, he's the biggest damn idiot I've ever seen.
No way he's taking that job.
He's not taking that.
I hope not.
You don't think he would?
No.
Cowboys have a spot open as well.
I think old Dion seems to be a big time front runner for that job.
Oh, I've got quotes.
And then
from
the
him.
Raiders have a spot open as well.
That's what I'd want to coach. But
Yeah,
I like throwing dice.
I tell you, that would not shock me if they don't bring John Gruden back.
They should. John Gruden,
He got railroaded.
he did.
He got railroaded
He
by
totally
my
did.
by my team.
By
I know.
the
I know.
Commodores or
They were the
communists.
They were the
or
football team.
Whatever
they were the football team when they pulled that stunt with Dan Snyder. That fucking hope he rots and burns in hell. Dan Snyder.
I don't necessarily see Marcus Freeman going anywhere though this early. But
He's a college coach, man. He's perfect where he's at. I hope he stays. The game, college football needs coaches like him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He seems like he cares about the players.
Yep.
He's got the good balance, in my opinion, of being a player's coach, but yet understanding what's driving them right now, to where you can't come in with an iron fist back in the day like Spurrier and all those guys. But he's got a good balance of, hey, these guys are making money. You got to be considerate of that, but still being able to keep enough reins around them to be a good coach.
But he looks like he's so happy there.
Can you imagine how much money he's going to be able to demand out of that?
Those
school?
Catholics are going to be pulling out some money.
Yeah, we're gonna have 4 games extra every season that we're gonna get a ton of money from. So yeah, pay up, bitches.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna be saying.
I mean, I like him. I hope he stays. I hate Notre Dame.
So you hope he goes to West Virginia then?
Oh shit, I'd love to have him in West Virginia.
Yeah,
Why would you leave Notre Dame to go to?
You're about to get Jimbo.
No, we got Rich Rod, baby. It's coming home.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah, he's gonna hire Jimbo.
No, he's not hiring Jimbo. He's not hiring Dumbo Fisher. Trust me.
I had a patient today trying to tell me that Belichick was going to hire Nick Saban to be his DC down in North Carolina.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I asked him. I said, "Man, you took way too much of your pain medication for you came here today."
Supposedly Belichick did get a 5-star recruit though for quarterback. I can't remember what the dude's name
You know
was,
what?
but
Well, I know I don't want to get off topic, but the more I pay attention to that and I start reading about that, that's going to be a flop. That is not going to work. It's not going to work.
so which coach did that girl from the MMA fight? Which coach?
My money's on
dropped into her
Lane.
DMs.
The smooth criminal Lane Kiffin. That's who my money's on.
I think it was
Lane Kiffin's
I don't think it
girlfriend's
was.
like 25, blonde and hot already. I mean, does he? I guess does he? Get the
How
other
old is
one?
Belichick's?
Huh?
How old is Belichick?
72. He looked today.
No, how old's his girlfriend?
Like
25.
25 brunette and hot, something
George
like
Gordon
that.
is 24.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're thinking Lane Kiffin, huh? All right.
No, I mean, is that even true?
No, it's I have no idea. We are not TMZ, by the way, but I just thought that was a interesting.
I want it to be
that
Lane
Lane
Kiffin
was-
because I hate that guy.
Was he getting back with his wife though? I thought I saw. I don't.
She's
know.
an
I don't
idiot.
know.
Who gives a shit? I can't stand Lane Kiffin. We spend too much time
I
talking
can't
about him.
either.
Clown.
Let's go on to Dion.
Chopper's favorite person in the world is Lane Kiffin.
No, it ain't.
Oh, please.
He likes Lashley out there at
He
SMU.
loves him some Lane Kiffin over there.
He's a Gus
Look
guy.
at him, man. You called
Gus
Ole
guy.
Miss
I'm
to
a
win
Gus
the national
guy.
championships.
I like
And
Lashley.
Senator Tuberville, that's another buddy of yours.
Senator Tuberville, Jimbo Fisher,
Hey,
one of Terry Bowden's boys.
that's right. Hey, Terry had him
in
undefeated.
West Virginia.
Yeah, Terry had him undefeated.
That's right.
No, not Terry. What was the other one's name?
It was Terry.
No, I thought Terry was at Clemson.
No,
Terry was at Auburn.
No,
There was
Terry was Auburn.
Which one was at Clemson?
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, Terry was undefeated on the.
And then he couldn't stop playing with students, and that got him run out of town.
Who, Tommy or Terry?
Terry.
That little chubby guy. Jeez. He's like 5'5", wide and tall.
There was a great.
They said his nickname was Tripod. I don't know what you do with that.
Little person.
There was a great Bobby Bowden quote from West Virginia when he was there.
I hope that's true.
I really do.
I really
William and Mary. If you would have recruited more Williams and less Marys, you would have won the game.
I want that to be true. I want that to be true.
Bobby Bowden was known for some shit talking. Let's just say that.
Way back. Way
kind of like Spurrier as well. You know,
Spurrier is one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that he's out of the game, he's one of my favorites.
Yep. All right. So moving on, man. So let's go around the table, man. Who's going to win this national championship game then? Cheeks, what do you got?
I got Ohio State.
Yeah, and who do you got there? West Virginia, Mama Jama.
Ohio State.
Oh, you're going with Ohio State?
Are you surprised? I've been carrying water.
Are you going to put that into the pool?
That's
or
what you call it.
With,
That's what you call it.
Carrying water? What do you want me to call it? I don't like them. Oh, whatever.
No, I mean, I'd be dumb to say Ohio State was not going to win.
It ain't easy being right.
I don't think that they cover, though. I think that it's more. I think it's less than.
See, I'll disagree
points.
with you there. They cover.
Okay.
31-17.
31-17?
Mm-hmm.
That means they cover. Okay. Who do you got, Chopper?
I'm always the underdog guy.
So you're sticking with Notre Dame.
And it bites you in the butt every time.
You know, it doesn't always. But I just hate, it bothers me just to pick the obvious.
I'll buy you a beer if
It really
Notre Dame
does.
wins.
So I'm going Notre Dame.
I'll buy you a beer if Notre Dame wins.
Just because.
Okay. Who do you got?
Just because.
You ain't getting that beer.
It's too easy to say Ohio State.
You ain't getting that beer if you win, just so you know.
Rebel.
We're going to go in there.
I don't have money riding on it.
Okay. But so you're going to say whatever you want to.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? Okay. Well, hey.
Notre Dame as a field goal as time expires with that shitty kicker from South Carolina.
All right. Well, then if I were you, if you had that much confidence, I'd go ahead and throw some money on it.
I mean, outside of Pitt, these two teams I can't stand. I don't like them. I mean, I hate Ohio State. Their fan base drives me nuts. Notre Dame beat us in the championship in '88, so I'm always going to harbor ill will towards them. But somebody's got to win.
Yep.
Ohio State's going to win.
Oh, maybe they all get like cholera and can't play the game.
Cholera? You couldn't even get the flu?
What's a glorified word for
die from the
diarrhea?
flu.
I mean, COVID and flu are going around pretty deep right now. So you
Oh,
never
stop
know.
it. Disinformation. Quit
Yep.
saying that.
All right. So last thing on college football, then we're moving to NFL. Ready? At the beginning of the season, somebody called this. All right. Are you ready? Oh, hold on. I thought I had it for a second. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We're going to go.
Boise State or App State is your group of 5 entry into the playoff.
So somebody called Boise State being an entry into the playoff, and that was pretty good, man. Rebel.
Well, yeah, but I sure shit the bed on the other possibility, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, well, hold on. Do I not say Florida State or Florida's going to win the national championship every single
Yeah, and you
year?
did say Liberty would be undefeated.
And
so.
I did say that, yeah.
I picked Liberty too.
I forgot you were big on
Give me
Liberty.
the soundbite.
But didn't so Boise State's quarterback came from UCLA or was it UNLV? I can't remember, but you were talking about that earlier in that same episode as well, and that was who you were riding on. Though you were not riding on having the best running back in the
No.
decades.
Yeah. I mean, they were known to throw the ball around up there, not to just run it down your throat.
No, that's a fun offense to watch. Usually in the off.
He was a stud last year, but I don't remember any talk about him at all last
Because it's Boise State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well,
And he
Anybody
stayed
was-
there for one more season, and then they basically built the offense around him. It seems like to me.
And then he got shit on the same way Steve McNair got shit on, the same way that Randy Moss got shit on.
Yep. All right, NFL, man. Let's hop onto this really fast, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and let Cheeks have a little bit of say in this conversation. All right. So the Eagles and the Packers played 22-10 was the final score. So we're gonna do this for you. I'm gonna play my clip for you. All right.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right. So talk to me about this game, Cheeks.
Well, it was a very interesting game that I was worried about losing the entire time because Jalen Hurts, I don't think, is back up to par. And I'm very concerned for Sunday's game because
You're worried.
Yeah,
You said
because-
it with a lot more excitement earlier tonight when we were talking
I mean,
about
if
this
we're
thing,
talking
so.
about a running game,
Yeah.
yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley's amazing. We've got the running game. But if you're talking about a passing game, oh my God, I'm a little concerned. But I'm a homer. And go Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly, right? Okay,
Yes.
so I didn't get to watch that game, and I think I watched a little bit of it here and there, but the Eagles, I mean, they've been pretty consistent all season, haven't they?
oh yeah,
Yeah, for the most part.
yeah.
I mean, they had that little lull kind of right there to where I'm not saying they lost, but they didn't look real
I
good.
think at the beginning of the season, they lost a couple of games, and people
Yeah,
were
then
thinking,
we
they're
went
not going to be
like
where they're
10
supposed to
straight
be.
wins.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
won.
exactly.
And who ended that win streak? That's
F
what I
you.
thought. That's what I thought.
And who was the quarterback at the time?
Well, Hurts started the game.
No, they lost their 3rd game of the year and their 5th game of the year, then their 7th game of the year. That's what I'm saying. They kind of had a lull there in the middle where it's kind of like,
No, they had 10 straight
They
wins.
went on 10 straight wins.
Yeah, they did. They
right,
went on
preseason.
10 straight
That's
wins.
what I was looking
Yeah.
Preseason.
Super Bowl last
No,
year?
but then
No, they lost their
Super Bowl.
2nd and 4th game of the season.
but then the
Then they rattled
Eagles,
them off.
they lost
Chiefs.
they lost Hurts in the first quarter.
So
And then by the end of the game, where we were up to the third string.
No, you still had Kenny Pickett. But your defense gave up 500 yards and 5 touchdowns to a rookie quarterback.
He's actually really good.
Yeah, he is really good. And
really
by the
good.
way, how many years now have the Eagles played sorry-ass quarterbacks of the Commanders for the last 20 years? You didn't hear us bitching because you're playing
you
Mark
guys weren't the
Sanchez,
Commanders.
Todd Collins.
You weren't the Commanders.
Well, we were football team, Redskins, Commanders. For years, we've had crappy quarterbacks, and we didn't
Why?
cry about having to play Donovan McNabb all those years. Or
Oh no,
Big Dick Nick Foles.
We lost fair and square. I agree.
Big
I'm
Dick
just
Nick.
giving you a hard time. But if Jalen Hurts finished that game, we would not have won that game.
That is correct.
I admit that for sure.
So the Commanders beat the Buccaneers as well. We'll go ahead and go to your favorite team there.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun
Commanders-
considering I was in Tampa. That was fun sitting at the bar
That was
watching that
almost a choke
meltdown. Good Lord.
Yeah, because
Thank God for Baker Mayfield.
the Buccaneers, they kind of commanded that game for quite
They
a bit of
did.
it.
Well,
And
I
then-
don't, hold on. No,
Thanks
I don't
for
know
a
about.
doink.
I mean, Washington had 2 long 13 and 14 play drives, went 80-some yards. I mean, they played well. The problem is the third quarters when it felt like Tampa was going to pull away.
Yeah, it was 10 and a half.
Yeah, I mean,
But let's be for real. Baker Mayfield made a lot of muffs. Okay. All right, go ahead,
Muffs?
run with that one.
they do. Yeah, they make a lot of. He does
There's a
make a lot of
soundbite for
muffs.
you.
Yeah,
So Baker Mayfield goofed up quite a few times.
goofed up.
It doesn't sound very sweet.
the muff will always get you in trouble.
It will get you in trouble for sure.
Well, it got him in trouble.
Especially when you're talking about football. So are the Commanders going to make it far in this playoff series then, or what?
No. I mean, look,
If they drew somebody other than Detroit, they might make
Yeah.
noise.
I mean, they're going to do a buzzsaw. Look, I am as a Skins fan. I am so happy. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he's actually.
Yeah.
I've been cautious all year because I lived through the RG3 nightmare. I was so happy until that all went to shit. Kirk Cousins was kind of a letdown,
Bust.
for us.
Yeah.
So I haven't enjoyed this since I was a 7th grader the last time we won a Super Bowl.
Oh,
so
dear God.
yeah,
So,
so-
what do you still remember?
it's I mean, if somebody had told me back then to enjoy it, I'd enjoy it a hell of a lot more. I was
That was
assuming
a
we were gonna
fun
win.
Super Bowl to watch, though. That was a great Super Bowl to
We beat
watch.
the hell
out of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Still better than the Cowboys.
But to answer your question, I think we've overachieved. We've won 9 games this year. That was either on the last play or the last possession. 5 in a row now. I think our luck's going to run out, but I'm very happy with the season. If Detroit beats it, that's fine because I would love to see Detroit win the Super Bowl. If we can't win it, let Detroit win it.
Do you think they should go back to the Washington Redskins?
Here's
Yes.
should they go back? They should have never left. Will they go back? No. So this has got to move on and deal with it. Now, I don't like the name Commanders. I like to see them change that shit and bring the logo back. The
Back to
logo.
the football team?
No, bring the logo back of the Native American. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
There's nothing wrong with that
and
logo.
Native Americans agree with you.
The logo is perfectly fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe you could have something wrong with the Redskins or whatever. Obviously, no one would.
Yeah, you're
if
not
you were
putting
like, hey, white skin. I mean,
You're not putting that. Look, you're not putting that toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah.
It only got changed because it was a perfect time when we were going through the COVID and racial stuff. It was the perfect time to change it, and it happened. And part of it too was Dan Snyder. Everybody hated Dan Snyder, and they wanted to make his life miserable.
But you don't like the Commanders? That's a good name.
No, I don't like the Commanders. I think
a horrible name.
It was a horrible name. There was a lot of good ones out there that I thought they could have chose, but
Yeah,
at this point,
Redskins was a great one.
I just want to be called Super Bowl champs. That's would be fun to be called. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I hope they never win another game.
The Washington Super Bowl champs. That sounds like yeah.
What'd you say?
I said I hope they never win another damn game.
Man, how can you say that?
I grew up a Redskins fan. I hope they never win another damn game.
Oh man. All right.
Well,
So
the Lions are favored 73%. So
we are not going to let Rebel have his opinion on the Redskins
Probably a
versus
good idea.
Commander debate. Then let's go ahead and hop over to the Texans versus, which I don't like the name Texans, by the way. Houston Texans versus.
Go back to Oilers. It was
Well, what
great
about
with
the
great
Chiefs?
uniforms.
Chiefs are Indian.
Why don't you like the Texans? You gotta.
I just think. I mean,
You find that offensive?
that'd be like calling us my team like the Carolinians or something, or the New Englanders. Like
You've met people from Texas, right?
Yeah.
They're proud of that, man.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so go ahead. I mean, that's fine. All right, Texans beat the Chargers 32-12, 429 yards versus 261 yards for the Chargers, and the Chargers only had 50 yards rushing. CJ Stroud looked pretty good too. I mean,
It's about
282 yards, right?
He's had look. I like C.J. Stroud. I thought he got a bum rap last year coming in. They were hard on him about things. And he had a good year last year. Sophomore slump this year, but he's a good quarterback. I like the Texans. I like their coach. I love him. But can we finally admit Justin Herbert is overrated?
Yes.
He is over. Another Oregon quarterback that's overrated. He just is not a winner. The guy had a colossal choke 3 years ago against the Jaguars. They blew a 27-0 lead in playoffs. And then this one, he didn't even show up. I know that it takes 22 players to win, but my God, he looks terrible. He looked awful in that game, and the Texans took advantage of it.
Yeah, they sure did. Okay, Ravens. Anyone else got anything to say on that?
Yeah, the Texans had almost double the yardage. Yeah. So you can't win playoff games like that. They shouldn't even been in the playoffs.
No, I think they had 41 minutes. They had possession of the ball for 41 minutes as well. All right, Ravens beat the Steelers 28-14. Kind of expected, Russell Wilson, man, is he gone? Is he leaving is this his last year playing as a 36-year-old?
It depends on what they have. I mean, you got to get, if you can get rid of the guy, you better have somebody to play. And
I don't think Tomlin even has faith in him.
I mean, he only cost him $1 million to play him this year.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's still living on Denver money.
He's living on Denver money.
Yeah.
And I don't know that look, I like Justin Fields. I think he's probably a good guy and he's got some qualities about him, but is Justin Fields going to be the guy? And look, we're talking about the Steelers. Their fans have high expectations. They're a team that's won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They're bitching because they go to the playoffs all the time. Now, granted, they don't win the playoffs anymore, but Justin Fields, Super Bowl champion Steelers, I don't see it.
No, they're in a tough spot. I mean, I actually went and sat in the Steelers bar when the Bengals beat them. It was fantastic, but I digress. The thing is with them is they're going to get rid of him. You better have somebody that's comparable. I don't think Pickett's the guy. I mean, he's had opportunities. He hadn't looked really good. Maybe I don't know.
You mean Justin Fields?
I'm like, who's Pickett?
Sorry,
he plays
Fields.
for the Eagles.
Sorry, Fields. I had a flashback to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, they've swapped them in and out. Neither one of them look worth the crap. So I mean, unless you're going to wholesale and try to draft one and make lots of trades and pay a big free agent to come in, which the Steelers never really do.
They do not do that.
Is there a better one out there? And again, he's still playing for cheap next year, if I'm not mistaken, if they want to keep him. So the bigger thing you're hearing in Steeler Nation is Mike Tomlin, and they're like, do we keep him around? Is it time to make a change? And I'm kind of like, the man over here says, they haven't missed the playoffs since he's been there.
He hasn't had a losing season.
They haven't had a losing season. Oh, they have missed the playoffs. He hasn't had a losing season.
Right.
That's what it is.
But I mean, they're in competition every year for that division. That's a tough division. I mean, the Browns are bad this year, but the Browns have been good the last 5 years. It's been a competitive division from the Bengals, Browns, Ravens, and Steelers.
So to answer your question, I have no idea. You talk to Steelers fans, they have no idea.
Oh, they're divided.
They don't know whether they're coming or going right now. They really don't.
Derrick Henry ran for 186 yards that game.
See, that's the thing. That defense.
Roll Tide.
Hayward, Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, Mika Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr., they got humiliated. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
That was
embarrassing.
That was a good game for him. Lamar Jackson played pretty well also.
He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, and in the playoffs, that's a blessing to them.
Yes, it is, because he's
for all he's done great. He looks like
he's
a pile of dog shit in playoffs.
And the Steelers have owned him, by the way. He was 2-5 against the Steelers.
Yep.
So.
All right, my friend Chopper's favorite quarterback, Bo Nix, over in the Broncos, just got for a guy that had such an amazing
what a guy.
Yeah, a guy that had such an amazing season. I mean, a record-breaking season for a rookie. I mean, he just got shut out. I think they had 186 yards total that game. I mean, the Bills just dominated them.
Yeah. The Bills are a much better team.
There was a lot of drop passes too. It's not necessarily his fault when his receivers are all dropping the ball.
Yeah, it seemed like they could not. They call it Butterfingers.
Let me tell you what, Denver making the playoffs after what they dealt with last year, they didn't win the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl just by getting on the right side of this thing and making the playoffs. I mean, they were so bad last year to where they are now.
And all that
and beating the Chiefs. Nobody's beat the Chiefs except for the Bills.
Yeah,
so they're that good. Okay.
Well, I mean, they I think they were probably thinking
must beat them.
2 to 3 years they were going to be. They're ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
they're going to be Bo Nix is a good quarterback. Sean Payton's a good coach. They're going to be a good team. They got a good defense. They just ran into a. Let's be honest. If you want, we can call it the SEC of NFL. The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bills. They're the big bullies, and the Eagles. They're the big bullies on the block. That's the 4 teams. One of those 4 are going to be the Super Bowl champion. Nobody else
like
beat
the SEC.
I would say the Lions, but their defense is just decimated. That's the one problem I have with them.
But they're getting healthier every week. The longer they play, the better they get.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying that this. Okay, let's just say Ravens, Chiefs, Bills. God, they're the big boys, man. They are just. I'm thinking AFC. They're just. They're a buzzsaw, and I mean Broncos. I thought they should be. If you're a Broncos fan, I know you're a Knicks fan, but if you're a Broncos fan, you should be tickled to death.
Yeah,
the future's bright.
But he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so he's not going to like the Broncos. Same division.
But he loves him some Bo Nix, man.
Another Oregon quarterback. We'll see if he holds on. Herbert Mariota.
Shit, which school did he not play for?
But how do you have? I mean, he had
Virginia.
Bo Nix had such a good season, and he's going to be just fine in the NFL based upon what he was able to do with a team that he had this year.
He needs better receivers if they're going to keep dropping the balls. He needs more weapons.
Well, here's the thing: is you see this a lot of times. We've seen it historically. You have a rookie quarterback come in, have a great year. C.J. Stroud's a good example of this. They always have the sophomore slump. They all did. Burrow had his sophomore slump. Everybody has.
Yeah,
but you've got Sean Payton that's been there, done it. He's held up the big trophy So you go, this is what we need to build around him to try to prevent that or at least hedge it a little bit. And he's got the right guy at the helm to try to help push him to the next level.
The only sophomore slump that won the Super Bowl was Ben Roethlisberger. As terrible as he was his sophomore year, they won a Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
Their defense was sick.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so who was the last Broncos quarterback to win a playoff game?
Tim Tebow, Florida boy.
No, Peyton Manning.
It wasn't Manning.
Peyton Manning, wasn't it?
No, it was
wasn't
Elway,
No,
wasn't
Tim
it?
Tebow was the
Tebow.
last
He beat the Steelers.
quarterback for the Broncos to win a
That's right.
playoff
No,
game.
he was before Peyton Manning.
Tim Tebow.
It was before Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah.
And your boy Tim
I was
Tebow
just
had a baby.
I was just making shit up.
Did you see that?
No, they were pregnant. I don't think
They're
he had
pregnant.
one.
Oh, I have
Oh,
no
yeah,
idea.
she's
We
pregnant.
are not
That's right.
TMZ, but that's pretty awesome, dude. You heard it here first.
She's pregnant?
You heard it here first. She's having
Yeah.
twins.
That's right. No.
It's Tim's?
I guess he's not a virgin anymore.
Well, he is married.
He is married. Yeah. Okay. Vikings lose to the Rams, 27-9.
God, that was a
They
tough
had
game
just
to
as many
watch.
points as they had sacks. I mean,
That's right.
just ridiculous, man. The Rams were all over that Vikings offense, man. That line was just getting, I mean, porous as can be.
I felt bad for Sam Darnold after about the third one.
Yeah.
And then he had 6 more.
Yeah. And he had you made this comment on the Facebook group, Rebel, like Sam Darnold had a pretty damn good season, and then now he's had 2 bad games in a row, and they're talking about taking him out now. What's going
all
on?
these quarterbacks give their linemen like cruises or like trucks for Christmas. I wonder if he just shafted them all.
He gave them all
You know, just
bathrobes.
like, it's like, oh, I didn't get a Tundra.
Well, he only lost to
Not
2
blocking
teams this
for
year.
you anymore. You know.
He only lost he lost the Lions twice, the Rams twice.
All their leases came due right before
Yeah.
that game, and they're like, "Fuck this guy, we're gonna go."
Yeah.
I did see Adam Schefter. I don't know if it was yesterday or it had to be today because they played last night. He did say that the rumblings are that his value took a hit.
His value,
The money he was going to make. I mean, he's going to still somebody's going to pay him.
Well, the thing is this: Stephen A. Smith on one of the talk shows is just chewing him up, and then what's the former Indianapolis quarterback, Osweiler, said told me Stephen A. Smith to sit down and shut up. He didn't know what he was talking about. He said, "This is what pisses me off about people like you." He goes, the game before, what the defense did is they just chewed the Vikings offensive line, figured it out, and just chewed through them like they weren't there, and said basically that's just that they took that game plan and reapplied it this past week. He said he was running for his life. He says, yeah, did he make some plays he probably should have made? Yeah. But that 9 sacks isn't on a quarterback. And if you go back and look, these weren't coverage sacks.
Right.
Yeah. This is again, to use my favorite Nick Saban, is a shit through a tin horn. Every time the ball was snapped and the guy was running for his life. So if it takes a hit, it's unfortunate because, I mean, everybody say, oh, no, this is the real Sam Darnold. So either he really is better and he had bad circumstances, or he's the new Fitzmagic. I don't know which it is. We'll find out.
I think, and we saw Kirk Cousins have a resurrection in Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell
Had a what?
He had an erection.
Resurrection.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Anyway,
He muffed that
the money he scammed people out of, I'd walk around
yeah, but
with one too.
he had, when Kevin O'Connell took over as the head coach there, he played really well, and then Darnold has. I think Kevin O'Connell's got a lot. He's a good offensive coach, good coach. If Darnold goes somewhere else and turns out to be the same old Sam Darnold he was with the Jets and the Panthers,
He could go. I was 2 games away from getting paid.
yeah. I mean, we can say, well, Kevin O'Connell must be the magic touch. But I mean, they've got J.J. McCarthy just sitting there. He was supposed to be the guy that started this year.
Well, he's hurt though.
I know, but I'm just saying. So are they going to go back to him? Or
They may go. Yeah, they do go back to him. They're going to let Darnold go because somebody, Pittsburgh Steelers, may pay him $25-30 million to come in and see for a year to see if it can happen.
They can franchise that.
Yeah, but again, they don't want to pay him $25 million to back up.
What if they bring Rodgers in?
Who? The Steelers?
Oh,
No,
God.
the Vikings. I mean, it's the same
Rodgers
path.
is done for.
Same path
Brett
Brett
Favre.
took.
No, Rodgers needs to go to bed.
I think Rodgers is done to be.
Yeah, take him out to the
I don't
field
think
and shoot him.
JJ McCarthy is the guy that's going to be taking the helm on that. I mean, while he did win a national championship with Michigan last year, it's not like it's not like it was because of his passing. I mean, he played good. He played sufficient ball to win, but I mean, it was the running game all the way for Michigan and the defense that won that national championship game, not JJ McCarthy. So can he take the helm of a team like the Vikings next year?
They were going to give it to him this year.
Yeah.
It is. I know. I'm confused too. I don't understand how he. It's one of those like when
He must practice really good.
well, it's like when Christian Ponder got drafted in the first round. I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
EJ Manuel, where'd that come from? I mean, there was some of these guys got drafted.
Chris Winky.
Chris Winky's some of these guys you're like, where?
Jamarcus Russell.
Well, everybody was how. I mean,
Wait, you just brought up a good point. So in the 8 teams that are in the playoffs right now, 7 of them were first round draft picks. Did you know that?
What, they're quarterbacks?
The quarterbacks.
Okay.
Let's talk about who's the one who wasn't in the first round.
Hurts.
Nope.
Who?
He was a first round draft pick.
Who's that?
Hurts was a first round pick.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me
Who's
think
the
about
Rams
this.
quarterback?
Stafford was number one.
Number one pick overall.
Yeah.
He didn't make the list.
Yeah, he was. He was the.
Yeah, he was number one.
Stafford's
pick
the
overall.
reason why they come up with the salary
No,
cap.
no. That was
Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
Oh, okay, yep. My bad. They had to stop paying rookies millions and millions of dollars before they even signed the contract.
he blew his knee out, and that was that.
Yeah, Stafford was the number one overall pick. I didn't. Honest to God, I thought Jalen Hurts was a second round pick.
No, he was like 32nd.
Well, we could have the guys in the back look that thing up really fast, and they'll get back to you. They'll actually say it into your ear, into your headphones.
So Josh Allen,
Yes.
Darnold was a first round pick. Jaden Daniels was a first round pick. Bo Nix was a first round pick. Russell Wilson was not a first round pick.
No.
He was not?
No, he was third round.
Okay.
C.J. Stroud was a first round pick. Lamar Jackson was the last pick of the first round. Jalen Hurts was pick number 53. So we had to put him in
Second
the
round.
second round.
Jalen Hurts, okay.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield was a first round pick. He was a first
Number
overall
one pick. Yep.
Yep.
So there is. So what's that say? It says if you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got shit. I mean, you got to have a quarterback.
No, you got to have a quarterback for sure. I mean, yeah, they lead the team. So, okay, getting into the NFL, the final games of these, what is it, the quarterfinals? Divisional finals, sorry, yeah. So we got the Chiefs versus the Texans coming up. My man over there, Chopper, is very excited about this game, I'm sure. The Chiefs are playing some outstanding football all season. So
They
does
were a
this
month
stop
ago.
now? Huh?
They were a month ago.
Okay, so
they're winning games.
They're winning games.
oh yeah, sorry, they're not
They're
scoring.
playing great football yet.
Yeah. Okay,
They're winning games.
they're winning games.
They're
The
doing
refs
enough.
picked them. Yeah.
The refs have their back.
Stop.
Those bastard refs, man. I'm telling you, man.
I hate when I hear that because that's not true.
Hey, there's a little truth to every joke, man, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
those refs may have some money on the Chiefs.
Come on.
Yep. So do the refs come out and win this game for the
No,
Chiefs
they're not
this
going to
week, or
need
what,
it.
man?
Kansas City's going to blow Houston.
You think so?
Water. Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be kind of close.
I don't
think so.
The Chiefs have been off for a while. I figure
That's what I'm saying. They're going to have some rust there.
I think that I agree with you.
Nah.
Do they have any injuries at the Chiefs that are going to hurt them or what?
They did going into their 50-day break, but
Okay.
I think they're all healed now.
Now
they
had a bye week, so sometimes that might cause them to slow.
Right, and they didn't play week 18. They didn't play anybody in week 8.
Okay. They
They rested.
They rested.
They rested.
That's why the Broncos beat them.
A former Eagles quarterback got whipped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys didn't catch me on that.
Carson.
earlier in the show.
I didn't want to say anything to you. I knew. I didn't want to, bust your Bo Nix bubble or anything.
So Chiefs are going to struggle against the Texans, huh?
I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I just think it's going to be one of those like Patrick Mahomes is going to make a key fourth down play. It's going to put away a 9-point game or something. You know what I mean? Something.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, it's
The
just
guy's a winner, man.
yeah.
He finds a way. He does, and everybody says it's the refs, but it's not.
They just
Oh, the refs help.
no. They just have a they. I mean, they get the benefit. They got the Jordan rules. Let's be honest. They got the Jordan rules. They're going to get favored in some calls, but they're just a good team. They just know how they're clutch.
The head ref, they're 6-0 with the head ref that's coming in on Sunday.
Look, guys, yeah, they get some favorable calls, but you got to still be in the game. There's never been so many calls that they calls them to have every score.
There's only so much a referee can do if they're
right.
they're on your side, but I don't.
My thing is this, and if you can go back and look through historically, there's always that one team. It used to be the Patriots that would get every call.
The 49ers,
The 49ers did for a
Yep.
while.
Cowboys.
So that's just where it is. I mean, the Chiefs are that team now that everybody's going to give the benefit of the doubt. If it's a close play, well, it has to go to Chiefs' way because they're damn near perfect. And so here we are. But it's like I like to say, if you don't, I tell kids all the time, they bitch about referees. Well, you should have never let them have influence on the game because you kicked their ass. I don't care what the sport is. Take them out of the game.
And the Chiefs are not really kicking people's ass. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. They're winning games, but they are not the dominant.
There was some kind of weird stat about them. They're like 0-12-3 against the spread or something. Like they don't cover.
No.
They don't cover at all.
They're not playing their best football, man.
And
Maybe they will.
The Panthers had them on the ropes.
Maybe they will down
They
the
were
stretch.
talking about how many games they had over 30 points. Was it
Yeah,
one?
that's what it is.
Yeah.
They've only.
Well, the Raiders almost beat them.
Well,
That's kind of embarrassing.
Hey, look, guys, we can sit there and say this all night. I don't give a shit if you win every game 3-2. As long as you win it, you keep playing. So I mean,
Right.
that's the thing. It's that this year it's a different Chiefs team. Used to be they would finesse you, they would beat you, they were the better team. Now they're just kind of finding a way to get it done. I think it's going to catch up to them in the playoffs. I don't think this game is an 8-point spread. I mean, I think Houston covered. I think they win by. I mean, they beat them by 7. I mean, but it'll be a game that is not close. But
Well,
the Chiefs win
Mahomes
by
has
7.
a brand new baby. He might be sleep deprived.
Yeah, right. What do the Texans have to do to win this game then, man?
The same thing Notre Dame has to do to beat Ohio State.
What's that?
Play perfect football, no turnovers, control the ball, somehow, I mean, I'm saying slow Kelsey. Kelsey ain't done much this year, but he'll show up in a big moment. You got to keep him relegated.
Is he coming down to his final seasons, you think?
No.
Kelsey, no?
No.
Just curious.
I'll tell you this.
Couple more.
He's lost a step. He's lost a step.
He's got weak legs these days.
I wonder why.
He's lost a step. I mean, you can tell when you watch him, he's not quite as, I mean, he's still good. This isn't a bash.
Is he distracted?
No, I think, well, I don't know if his heart's fully in it.
That's.
I don't know. I'm trying not to bash the guy because I'm a fat slob. He's a tight end. I'm not going to sit here and, it's not like I'm better. I'm just saying.
To be honest, would your heart be fully in it? If you got to do what he gets to do,
I wouldn't be in that situation.
What's that? Do Pfizer commercials? No, yeah.
I wouldn't be in that situation.
No, hell the fuck no. Sorry.
I mean,
Hey, so this game is going to determine who plays the winner of the Bills versus the Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the game, right?
So that's the game of the. Yeah. I mean, those two teams are both playing really good football. Both of those teams can easily. I mean, on any given Sunday, one of them will beat the other, right? So what do y'all think this comes down to for the Bills, man?
Didn't they already play each other?
I think the Bills is the best team in the AFC.
Oh yeah, I mean they're a dominant football team for sure.
But they did play back on September 29th, and Baltimore blew them out. So,
right.
Yeah.
Still, it's until Lamar Jackson shows he can win a big game in the playoffs and not become some lesser version of himself. I don't trust him. They are playing in Buffalo. It's supposed to be freaking cold. Go figure.
And snowy.
Yeah, and again, I don't know, man. Buffalo just has a feel about them that
I picked the Bills to go all the way.
they've got a swagger. They've got a swagger that they believe it's this year. I mean, they put all that crap in the 90s behind them. They're playing good football. I wouldn't want to play them right now. I mean, I've got now that we see who's in there, I've got them being the representative from the AFC.
Yeah. Part of their success is they cut the cancer out.
They
got rid of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he made a big difference getting ready.
I mean, and he's trashed his new team. I mean, he's gone down there and caused issues down there too. And ain't played with a day yet.
Well, he's been hurt. I mean, the Texans brought him in. He didn't do shit. And he got hurt. And of course, they let Noah Brown walk, and then Nico got hurt. I mean, he's a cancer. But I guess my concern. I hope Buffalo wins. I like Buffalo, Detroit. If Washington can't be in it, I would like to see that be the Super Bowl. But man, they've got to stop Derrick Henry. You got to stop Derrick Henry.
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
you have the 1-2 punch right there with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got to line up and make Lamar beat you. Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Henry's going to get his. Yeah. He's going to get his. You've got to get enough pressure to when you can get them in 3rd and long that Lamar Jackson's just going to toss the ball up. And that's what he's historically done in the playoffs is in that type of situation, make dumb throws, try to force them in. And he throws interceptions and, again, looks awful. So, I mean, until that recipe doesn't work anymore, you just continue to do it because historically that's what you do to beat him in the playoffs.
But the Buffalo Bills can't play with their food. Now I think they only led 10-7 at halftime against the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that shit. If you have a chance to put a team away, you got to put them away. And the Bills have been known to be sloppy with the Jets, sloppy with the Patriots, sloppy with lesser tier teams. Not that the Ravens are lesser. I'm not saying. I'm just saying you can't do that against the Ravens. You can't do that anymore. It's over now. You're playing your next 3 games or your next 3 games are going to be the best games you're going to have to play, and they're going to have to put their foot down and take care of business. And Josh Allen does go through parts of the game where it's a lull, where he's like comes out hot, and then for like a quarter and a half, he just looks bad. You know what I mean? Bad passes, decides to run when he shouldn't. I don't know. I think it's going to be a great game. I hope Buffalo wins. I'm going to pick Buffalo, but I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough one.
I mean, I kind of root for Lamar Jackson to win this game. In all honesty, I mean, not that I think that they're going to, but I mean, is there a chance that the Ravens are going to come out of this succeeding and go into the next round or what?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a toss up.
Sure,
this is a toss up game. I mean,
but why would you?
Buffalo's a 1-point favorite at home.
Why would you want the Ravens to win?
I don't know. I mean, I generally like Lamar Jackson. I think he's doing something at quarterback that not a lot of quarterbacks have the balls to do, and that's run 40, 50 yards a game.
Well, I will say this. Now, this is not an anti-Lamar Jackson thing, but he has to have the balls to do that because he's not a great thrower of the football. So he's talented with his legs, and he makes plays happen a lot like – but see, Patrick Mahomes can do it, but Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball. He's accurate. He's Aaron Rodgers-esque when he can throw the ball. But my thing is it's if Washington can't get there, then to see somebody like Detroit and Buffalo, the NFL – we cannot get in this same pattern we got with the Patriots for 20 years, and we're going to get that with the Chiefs. The NFL needs parity.
We need a hero.
And what better way would that be to see the city of Buffalo and the city of Detroit get to play each other in the Super Bowl? Ravens,
I would love that.
I mean, the Ravens, they've been there.
That would be fun.
Not that long ago. You know, that would be great. But nobody. I mean, I know Cheeks and Chopper want to see it. Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl, but nobody else wants to see it.
I don't believe in
Lions Chiefs.
Nobody wants to see the Chiefs.
Up yours.
Lions.
Nobody but the former Patriots fans are now Chiefs fans want to see that.
Wouldn't it be an amazing Cinderella story if the Commanders beat the Lions this weekend and they ended up in the Super Bowl, huh?
So
I hope they never win another game.
So
Lions are playing some outrageously good football right now. There's no chance that's
and
happening.
They're getting healthy guys back.
if the Lions miss the bus and we win the game, all we're going to do is give a free pass to the Eagles to get the Super Bowl. I mean, and I love my team, but we're just not. They're not a team. If they can't win the Super Bowl, then I don't want them to. Oh, this sounds like I'm a bad fan. I don't want them to ruin Detroit's chances. If that makes any sense. If you tell me, hey, you guys can win the Super Bowl, or you might play the Texans, then by all means, I want to beat Detroit. But so we beat Detroit, then we got Philadelphia probably, and then we beat them. We got who? The Ravens or the Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills?
Ouch.
No way, man.
What do the Commanders have to do to beat the Lions, though? I mean, what? I mean, is there any chance in the hell that's going to happen? Because I don't think anyone thinks so. What is this? What is the line?
So
on that
I mean, look, what is the line on that? I mean, I don't think the Commanders will get blown out.
9.5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Lions are favored by 73%.
Yeah, I don't know what they got to do. I mean, they got to. Let me tell you, if the game is within a touchdown, there's like 1 second left, and we got the ball, it's going to overtime.
You guys are going to have to hurt Goff.
The problem is our defense we're going to have trouble in the secondary. Golf's going to pick us apart.
Yep.
We don't have an offensive line. You know, Campbell. Detroit gets after the quarterback. Our offensive line's not that great. And Jaden Daniels, I don't want him to get hurt. I just want to get out of this game and enjoy next year, or have positive feelings going into next year. So I don't know. I want to win, but I'm not. We're not winning that game.
Rebel.
We're being realistic.
Yeah.
Do the Commanders have any shot at winning this game?
I hope they never win another game.
Okay. Well, then, that being said, let's move on to the Rams versus the Eagles.
I don't like his bitterness.
I know. He's so bitter over there, man.
I hope the Panthers never win another game until David Tepper is no longer the owner.
Wow.
So I hope they both soak in misery.
I mean, one more second on the Commanders.
Who do you root for now?
Cincinnati Bengals, babe.
Okay, that's right.
The Commanders have brand new ownership.
Yep.
Brand new coach.
Yep.
Brand new quarterback.
Yep. Brand new GM.
Yes.
We're not the same team with Dan Snyder.
No.
I hated Dan Snyder.
So clearly the recipe was get rid of everybody, start over.
20 years. He won one playoff game in 20 years owning the team. Josh Harris has owned the team for 1 year, and we've already won a playoff game.
Yeah.
And by the way, if Dan Snyder still owned the team, that doink off the field goal post would not have went through. Rebel, you know this. That's a fact. That thing would not have went through.
That was a happy doink.
A butterfly would have been flying through the stadium at that point, and the wind from the butterfly's wings would have knocked it right over, right?
We had a chance in 1999 when Dan Snyder's first year buying the team. We won a playoff game, and we played Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round. 14-13, we kicked the field goal. We go on to play the Rams in the NFC Championship. The brother of the kicker was the center, and it was a muffed snap, and we lost the game to Tampa in Tampa. Fast forward that's a hell of a lot longer. 25 years, 26 years later, another field goal chance to win the game. It doinks off the upright and goes in. I'm telling you. What happened in 99 is because of Dan Snyder. What happened the other night was because of Josh Harris.
Nice. Okay. So speaking of the Rams, because you just mentioned them in your little monologue you just had right there.
I'm sorry.
Rams versus Eagles. Cheeks. Hold on. Let me play it for you.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right. That is your one-liner for the show. Okay. So what do you think about this game? The Rams, I mean, they played pretty good football. They were all over the Vikings. So do you think that they have a better offensive line to protect their quarterback to win this game?
So prior to last night, I was all about the Rams playing the Eagles. And then I watched the game last night and went, holy shit, we're in trouble.
The Rams defense is on fire.
Yes.
But is that just because the Vikings are looking like shit on their offensive line, or what?
I would say half of it is that, and the other half of it is if we don't get Jalen Hurts up to par, we can't just keep running the ball. Saquon Barkley's amazing, but you can't depend on one guy to do everything.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen with this game, Rebel?
The Rams are a team, they're the hot team right now. They're playing over their head compared to where they played all year. You've got a veteran quarterback who can sling the ball, and he looks like he's playing back to his Super Bowl form. But again, it's a feel-good story, but the Eagles win the game. They're not going to win it all, but they don't lose this game.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, man?
Same. Eagles.
Eagles, okay.
Yep.
I mean, they're playing better football overall, but I don't know, man. The way that I was watching the Rams, and like I said, I don't watch a lot of NFL football during the season, but just the way that the Rams are playing, man, that just looked like they were.
Well, we need a new kicker too, because I can't depend on Elliott to do a damn thing.
Yeah,
he can't even kick his own ass. He missed an extra point.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to win this game.
Oh, damn.
I know, right? That's but anyway. So, final word on this, Mountain Man.
The Eagles. I'm with 100% what Rebel said. 100% with Cheeks about the kicker, but I think that's a problem for a lot of teams right now. But the Eagles are going to win. It's at home.
We have a ref and a kicker problem this year.
Yeah, NFL has a kicker problem, but it's at home. It's going to be cold. It's going to be in Philly. You know, the Rams also have a lot of. Let's be honest, they got a lot of problems personally with what's happened in LA and
for real,
and their situation. So, I think it's just going to be a lot to overcome. And Sean McVay is a good coach. I like Stafford, but they're done. They're done. One and done.
So they hosted that game in Phoenix, didn't they? Right?
They did.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I have a. Are we going to do a what the fuck?
You know what? What the fuck? Let's move on. What the fuck?
So in California, there was a bunch of policies that were canceled by State Farm. Of course, it was last summer. They had plenty of time to replace it. Anyway, so where did the Rams go to play their replacement game?
Where?
State Farm Stadium.
State Farm Stadium. Oh gosh, that's kind of
irony
ironic. What the
sad
fuck?
And sick.
What the fuck? Does anyone else have a good what the fuck for me from the week? All right, give it to me, Rebel.
When you're not a very good team and you're given an opportunity to do something special and you piss it away because you can't cash in on free things, you suck. South Carolina playing the now number one team in the country.
War Damn Eagle.
Down 1 point in men's basketball. Down 1 point, 2 free throws with 10 seconds left. And,
ridiculous.
And can't make the free throws.
Yeah, and he didn't miss a free throw the entire game.
Right. He didn't bend the knees. He didn't. He did not bend his knees.
That comes straight from a professional basketball source.
I have a source.
Yep, we have a source. We were there at the game.
I can't tell you.
Look it. They called him.
It was his knees. He's gonna miss.
Yep, his form was wrong.
They call him.
I was like, wow, you're onto something.
They called them free for a reason.
I was hoping that Auburn would lose that game, obviously.
What?
Yeah, because we need Florida to be number one, not Auburn. Jesus. So
just beat us then.
Yeah, we will.
You can't do that.
I don't know. They just took Tennessee's ass to the woodshed. That was ridiculous.
30-point win against the number one team in the country.
That's
has a number one team in the country ever lost by 30 points?
That's like 1982 the last time that happened, I think.
That Chaminade in Virginia?
Yeah.
I know Duke got the ass to belt from the UNLV in the NCAA tournament one year, but I don't think that was a 1-2 situation.
No, UNLV was ranked one, yeah.
Oh yeah. So what the fuck? Anybody else got a what the fuck? You know what my what the fuck is gonna be? What the fuck, man? 500,000 views on one of those damn clips that I post. Hopefully one of the clips from this show gets 500,000 views and we are going viral. But anyway, thank you all for joining another
not so fast.
Hold on. Let me play it.
Not so fast, my friend.
What do you got for me, Chiefs?
What are we doing Thursday night?
Oh, we do have the guys at the bar talking sports trivia night set up on Thursday night at 7:00 at MJ's Bar and Grill. I think I'm going to be doing half of the emceeing. Another girl named Danielle is going to be doing the other half of the emceeing. So hopefully it's a good time, man. I don't know. I mean, hopefully that we don't come in there looking like fools if we have our own team.
You're not selling it. This is going to be a blast, and you can win one of 3 major prizes at MJ's.
What's that? Tell me more.
So
I don't even know what the prizes are. They didn't tell me. So maybe you are.
I've won a few times.
All right, so hit me up. What is the prizes for winning?
It's usually a $25 gift card for number 1, $20 gift card for number 2, and $15 gift card for number 3.
Nice. All right. So come on
down. And a shot of Fireball if you finish last.
All right, so y'all come on down to MJ's Bar and Grill on Thursday night and check us out, and we will be there. So thank y'all for joining us for another week of Guys at the Bar talking
sports.
See ya.